Let's go to 1993 for the chill factor, aka demon possessed. Summary for this film: a group of snowmobilers become trapped on a lake and hole up in an abandoned camp. What they don't know is that the camp was once used by a satanic cult for its rituals and is still infested by demons who begin to kill off the group. Directed by Christopher Webster, mostly known as the producer on films such as Hellraiser, Hellraiser 2, Heathers, Meet the Applegates, a bunch of other shit.
Huh.
Written by Julian Weaver. Um, this is coming out. I think Arrow is releasing this or have released it. It's on for free on Tubi if anybody wants to watch it.
They're using the arrow art as the icon,
Yeah.
so it's either out or will be out very soon.
Um, yeah, the movie starts out with some heartwarming family channel style music. It's
Right? The
yeah,
most disarming music.
yeah. It's by a guy named John Tagenhorst. It's all these names, man. Um, but it's got a great voiceover. I really like the voiceover that comes in. It's Barbara Clayman, who's she hasn't done any real acting or anything. She's a renowned casting director.
Yep. I
Uh,
saw that too. Yeah.
she she cast The Changeling, Iron Eagle, Meatballs 3, 976 Evil, Beastmaster 3, Silk Stocking Sliders, much more. I do like the soundtrack to this movie. I like it a lot. Even the Family Channel stuff, I would listen to it. Um, he doesn't have this guy doesn't have many credits, but he should be very proud of this work. I think. Um, this if Jason were here, I would say that he. I don't know what he's going to give this movie, but I would say he really likes it because it has two things he loves: snow and the woods. So it's like
Okay.
you know, two things that give him like an instant 2 point bump on his rating, I would assume. Um, just like always, the little tiny weird shit bothers me. When they when they get to the bar after the extensive snowmobile intro sequence, they open they
Yeah.
open with a shot. The first shot you see inside this bar is a bartender pouring beer from a pitcher into glasses. And it's just the hugest fucking mess. It's just like she's pouring, it's going everywhere. And I'm like, if you saw that, if you went into a bar and saw someone just fucking pouring it all over the table and shit, you'd be like, I'm going home. I'm going away.
Yeah.
What is this? Um, it just doesn't make sense, especially since it's draft beer. So normally they would just take it right from the tap and not pour it
Yeah.
into a pitcher and then pour it into. It was solely for the shot, you know. Um,
It doesn't make sense.
was it just me, John, or did the character was there like some weird incest shit happening between?
Yeah.
I
So,
didn't. I
I
didn't
mean,
know
yeah, dude.
he like
There
grabs
was
his
some
sister's
weird
ass,
shit.
right? That was in the
Not
restaurant.
like he is like to the right of just above the butt crack. Like
Yeah,
he's close. It's
yeah.
like low hip.
But
Like too low for a brother.
that's what they were going for in this
So weird.
and
Ugh.
both their boyfriend and girlfriend are sitting there watching it happen, and it's like, why would you make that choice in your film to put just and that's the only time you see it is in the restaurant. But
No, it's not actually.
oh, I guess there is some
Edgy.
other stuff, but uh
Yeah.
I did actually think
So weird.
I liked how this movie was written. I thought it had a good structure, and I liked how the story flowed. And I liked how the monologue was used, because that woman had a really good voice for that kind of shit. Um, there's there's one line in this movie that I had a real issue with, though. There's a football player guy, and he's gonna
Let's
go
see if we mark the same one.
he's gonna go try to find help.
Yep.
And his girlfriend's like, don't go, it's dark, whatever. And he goes, football players don't get lost, honey. They know where the end zone is. And I'm like, that's a wildly incorrect statement, because the amount of CTE issues that football players have, I would say that they are probably in the upper percentile of people that just fucking get lost all the time, especially in the dark on a snowmobile. I mean, if you're a football player out there, whatever, but I'm just saying,
That's the greatest excuse ever.
it's a gloat.
Yeah.
Another line I enjoyed quite a bit was, I told you we're a remarkable family. I'm sure we have Indian blood. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it was, and that was all because,
Me too.
that was all because,
It's so funny.
that was because he was possessed by a demon that was making him heal from his coma.
Yep.
And she's like, you're much better. You were busted open. And he's like, yeah, we have Indian blood, I guess, and it's like, no, you're a white dude. Like 100%.
Yeah.
I think the kills are simple but stylish, sort of serviceable for a movie that didn't have much of a budget. I like how they used the shadow priest kind of thing too. That was kind of cool. The ceiling fan kill was just as schlocky as things. I mean, I assumed things would be in this. You just see blood splattered on the wall. I like the icicle kill. I thought that was cool. Don't see that a lot unless you're watching Final Destination or some shit. The most underwhelming kill was the volleyball net that hung the one girl.
That was his sister.
Yeah. One of the most bizarre endings you'll ever see. This dude who's been injured very badly through the whole movie seemingly gains power from his friend's death as he becomes possessed by an old priest, and he grows his fingernails out really long. He has some really weird sex with the main female character, and then we have a long snowmobile race. Like this, what happens is this girl's running from this dude he's on snowmobiles.
Oh,
and then they go past where the guy died, right? Or she does, and then he comes back a lot. He's like there, and he comes back alive at that point. It doesn't make sense. And then there's a point where they go by the dude that died from the trying to go find help, and he runs into the barbed wire.
The football player.
And it almost seemed like I thought he was going to come back to life and start chasing her too. But it was almost like the guy was like, hey, I killed that guy. There he is. Like, they like kind of points to it. Very strange.
Yeah, it was weird.
But I did like this movie. I thought it was fairly original, I guess. I don't know. I always say that, and then Jason debunks me. But I thought it was well written. And I think that helped out these actors because they were not the best. I think that's the only way this becomes passable, really, to the level that it is. I gave it an 8. I recommend it for anybody who likes 80s, 90s stuff, like schlocky kind of slasher shit. I might pick it up someday. I don't know. John, what do you think?
Well, I don't share your glowing opinion of this film.
I understand.
I did like, yeah, I did like the opening music. That was funny as hell. I was like, they're just giving me Cannibal Holocaust, I hope, because that starts out with real gentle music with a shot of the island, and
That's classic.
so that was, yeah, I thought that was funny. Yeah, the whole brother sister thing is just too weird, and it got amplified as he was possessed by the demon. Like,
have you ever seen a movie that uses incest and makes the story better? I mean, all I think of is what is it, Sleepwalkers, or is that what the one? Is that the Stephen King?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's the only one I could
I
think
like that
of.
movie.
And I don't think that the incest stuff makes it better. I think you could cut that out.
No, it was just weird. Yeah, it was just weird. It didn't add nothing. It was just weird. And his girlfriend was just like, oh, she just got a look on her face. I was like, oh, all right. Wouldn't
you say something though? Like if you were,
I'd
be
like, what the fuck?
Hey, don't grab your own sister's ass, you weird fuck.
Yeah. What the hell? Wedding's off, douche. Later. deuces, I'm getting out of here with my snowmobile, which is probably where all the budget went to, were them 4 snowmobiles and the one they had to wreck.
They were wrecking all those fucking things because I don't think that's how you're supposed
Yeah.
to ride a snowmobile. I mean, there's probably like sports snowmobiles that are made
Uh-huh.
to like jump shit. I don't think these were the case. I think they found those on, on some newspaper uh, for sale, in the help wanted
Mhm.
section and shit.
Yeah, it's super old.
They're
you know.
they're snowmobiles for moms is what they look like to me. But
A momobile.
yeah.
All right, like the couple things I did like was the girl getting hit by the fan. That was crazy. That was nuts. Like what the
It was
hell?
literally I can almost see in my imagination like the production of that. Like if you were standing behind it and watching it, just some guy throwing meat and blood at the wall.
That looked awesome, by the
Yeah.
way, though. That looked
that was
super
good.
cool.
Yeah.
Just like it just ground her up. I thought that was really fun. What about when they're playing with that fucking gaudy ass devil's eye thing, right? With the blonde genie, she gets blown away, and Karen's like, "It was just the wind," and she's helping her up, but she got blown like feet away from the table against the wall.
I love shit like that.
Like,
there's nothing better
it was
than someone seeing something supernatural directly in front of them and then denying it immediately.
right, and I'm with you there, but like this movie just really didn't do it for me.
I can understand.
It wasn't, it just I'm sure it has its fans. Arrow wouldn't release a stupid movie
I'm a
just
fan.
so one person would buy it.
And maybe it was just the day I watched it. I was in the right mood to be hanging out with these snowmobile kids and going back to the 80s, man. I just love going back to the 80s. Maybe that's it.
But this was 93.
Yeah, but it felt like 80s to me, like really hardcore.
Exactly. That's what I put in my notes. I was like, this is the most 80s, 90s movie I've ever seen.
Yeah. Even their styles, like their clothes styles. And I'll be damned if that bar wasn't straight out of 1985. I mean, come on, man. Everything was made of wood paneling. I think some of the people were, in fact.
Oh, the Great White North.
But
the icicle death was cool. I thought that was cool. Oh God, that ending where the demon gets run over by that goddamn snowcat.
And the guy's
and the dude's watching.
Why couldn't he
the
stop?
Dude's just watching it happen. Yeah, I mean, by this time the head already came separated from the body.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that happened like right away because of the helmet. It got kicked off by a tread. Yeah, this movie. I gave it a 4. I watched it twice to see if I missed something. Yeah, I watched it twice to see if I missed something.
If you don't like it, just go with your gut instincts, man. Because
but
my taste is
trash. But
trash.
I like trashy shit too. You know what I mean? But this was just like, this was boring. This movie had, like I said, aside from a couple funny parts, this movie was kind of boring. It wasn't for me.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Jay, what do you got a bad review there?
I do. So I do have a bad review. This one, I actually didn't see any scenes from this movie.
Yeah,
but
you don't need to. There's an icicle that goes in a dude's eye at one point. I mean,
but this person,
cool.
but this person gave it 1 out of 10. Apparently, there's rampant racism in the movie. In the first 15 minutes of the movie, we hear, this is quote, we hear ignorant white people casting aspersions about African Americans twice. The first comes from a patron in the bar who makes fun of a white man for dating a black woman. The second comes from the woman's own boyfriend when he says, quote unquote, I fell in love with the only black woman who sings off key, quote unquote.
Forgot about that line.
Yeah, that's really soft though. I mean,
yeah, it could have been I wouldn't say it was rampant.
Yeah. Well, also, they mentioned that the characters kept referring to the snowmobiles as sleds.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you're in the lingo, man.
Yeah.
Oh, really? This
Didn't
is a
sound cool, though.
snowmobile pro over here.
The characters are whiny and obnoxious. They cannot keep their
Mm-hmm.
cool or calm in a crisis and do nothing but snap at each other and swear loudly, which only breaks down the lines of
I don't
communication
know.
further.
Yep.
It would be really hard to not snap, though. I mean, like, imagine
That is true.
This is what happens, Jay. Imagine you're with the Kjenaas boys, right? And you
All
guys
right.
are like taking your sleds out in the snow, really jamming. One of your friends, let's say Trent. I don't want to put any of you in harm's way, but hits a tree, busts their face open, and then you are out in the middle of nowhere because you've went to a stupid area that's like an hour away from civilization. The only place you can find is this cabin. Okay, things are going to get tense, right? Like, you're going to start fighting with all the guys. I mean, because your friend is essentially in a coma. So.
Right. No, I
and
do
they're
get
moving
that.
his head all around. They kept moving his head all around and shit.
Yeah,
like
that's
gently,
some tense
but
shit
all
there.
around. That was so funny.
Is there more of the review?
Yeah. So in a nutshell, bad special effects, terrible cheesy soundtrack. Something about if I hear that awesomely 80s country song again, my ears will literally bleed.
Yeah, I think I know what he's talking about.
Forgettable characters, a narrator who sounds like he or she smoked 3 packs a day from birth.
That's true, kind of, but
a non-ending. Rather, the movie just stops with no real explanation as to what happened or why. I am so glad that this awful flick is over.
In fact, to that point, the girl at the end of this movie just runs away from everybody, doesn't ever tell anyone what happened. She even says in the final words of this movie that she doesn't even tell these people's family what happened, which I don't know how you would really. How
so
would
she witnesses the entire events of the movie and then she just up and leaves.
But it would be really hard to call your friends, like family, and be like, listen, this is really hard to explain, but one of our friends died, essentially became reborn as a demon, or kind of a demon, but no, it was more like a priest, but he was evil, and he used his magic powers to kill all of our friends, including your child or loved one. I mean, it would be
have a nice day.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, wait, was there a police report? No, because there was a cop there and he wanted to know what the dude under the machine's name was, and I
just bolted.
Yeah. I'll go over the scores that we gave the movies and you can hit us with yours.
Yeah, I'll give you some scores.
All right. Well, the Chill Factor, 1993. I gave it an 8 out of 10. John gave it a 4 out of 10.
Oh, John didn't like it, huh?
Did not like it.
No.
I said you would like it. It would have at least 2 bonus points for the snow and the woods setting.
You pretty much nailed it. I love horror movies in the snow. It just automatically it's setting some atmosphere to it. And this trailer looks horrible. The trailer looks awful. Like, but not the movie itself, but the quality. So when I watched this, I was really surprised that like this must be the Arrow transfer because it looks really good.
Yeah.
It definitely, like, I don't know really what it's considered. Is this considered a slasher?
Supernatural horrors.
Because it's very
slasher.
Yeah, very much sets up as a slasher, but then you have the supernatural aspect to it. This has one of the worst fight scenes I've ever seen in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is immediately as soon as I finish this is now on my Amazon wish list. It's actually my most wanted section.
Oh wow!
So I liked it. Yeah, I'd give this an 8 as well.